Hello and welcome back to Grant a Wish. Let's see if the next chapter name, Answers, is gonna ring true. We end up heading back to the tavern, where Ren splits off to arrange his own lodgings and to give us some privacy. Bells is uncharacteristically silent as we make our way up to my room. The air of fear around them is palpable even now. They sink down onto one of the beds as soon as we enter and look to me nervously.
Oh.
All right. Where should I start? Well, I admit to being curious about a couple of things. Yeah, same. But my biggest question is, why didn't you just tell me? Can I tell you a story? It won't answer your question directly, but it might help you to understand. All right. They start to speak with that same lyrical voice they used for the previous tale. There's an undercurrent of grief to this story, though. Once upon a time, there was a small village by a forest. Despite its size, it was very lively there. The people of this village were close-knit and friendly, and travelers would feel like family within days. It was so homely that folk from all over would settle down there. In this village there lived a family. There was a wise father, a kind mother, and a cheerful child. The parents treasured their child very much indeed, and the village was like an extended family. Unbeknownst to the villagers, however, a terrible evil lurked among them. One day, the parents noticed that something was strange about their precious son. They could sense something off almost immediately. A parent always knows. They worried and fretted, but couldn't figure out what was wrong. Until at last, they made a terrible discovery. A monster had stolen away their child and taken his place. A changeling. Body snatchers, the most horrifying creature of all, and it had infiltrated not just the village, but their very home. They caught the monster in the middle of its grotesque transformation one day and confronted it at once. "What have you done with our child?" they cried. But the monstrous creature only continued its attempts to deceive them. They realized that to rescue their only son, they had to slay this cruel and twisted creature that had taken him from them. But the monster was fast and wily, and it escaped from their clutches, wearing their son's face all the while to torment them. The villagers, close-knit and protective, banded together to catch and kill this imposter. But in the end, all they could do was drive it, wounded, from the village. They searched high and low for the missing child, but he was nowhere to be found. And so the villagers closed off their hearts and swore that never again would they allow one of these creatures, worst of all monsters, to harm one of their own. The gates were shut for all travelers, and a heavy bounty placed on the creature's head, as much as the village could afford, more even. That is how deep their hatred for the monster runs, and their grief for the boy stolen from them. Bells finishes their tale with a shaky voice, and then wears a smile that looks painfully hollow and shrugs. You can probably figure out that the setting for that little tale was Oxtide. So unless you want to get lynched by an angry mob, it's best not to be anything other than fully human in this area. So I hid, even from you. Oh boy, okay, that's very understandable. And might I wager a guess that then the person that their wish is about is that missing boy?
Sorry.
There's something that doesn't sit right with me after that tale. It makes sense that they'd want to keep quiet about their identity if the locals have a vendetta against any being capable of changing forms. But that didn't sound like it was merely a local story that Bells was recounting. Well, duh. It sounded more personal than that. Bells. That story. Is the missing boy the one you're looking for? I think he is. Were you the monster in the tale? Was it someone you cared about that was taken? Let me do a quick save. Okay, I'm the third one I'm not sure about. The first two I assume are true, but I don't think we want to focus on Bells being a monster. I don't think that's the angle we're going for here. So yeah. I'm gonna go with the first one. Bells gives a small laugh that hurts to hear.
Yeah.
You could say that. Although it's a little more complicated than that.
I was the monster.
You see, I was the monster. You want to know the funniest thing? I didn't even know it myself until that day. I really thought I was their child.
Mom? Dad? I don't know what's happening to me!
Okay, interesting. I have no idea when I took their son's place. It must have been very early on. Because for as long as I can remember, I really thought I was Gale Hawthorne. Of course, there was no convincing them that I was the child they had been raising for 13 years. Even if I could have, I'm not sure it would have made a difference. They were right.
Oh.
I wasn't their son. Well, are we sure that's true? I mean, yeah, sure, it could be that Bells came to them very young and thus doesn't remember the past. Like, you know, if he was very young and memories, you don't remember your very, very early childhood. But couldn't it be that they were their son? And then the shape-shifting just started later? Maybe we'll get some answers to that. I wasn't their son. I ran. I ran as far as I could. I wound up in Paris, where I collapsed in an alley. And then, shortly after, I met Chimes. I had pretty much no skills at the time and no money. So I probably would have been screwed if it weren't for Chimes and Ren. Anyway, when I found out what I was, I made two promises to myself. First, that I would never wear Gale Hawthorne's face again. And second, that I'd find out what happened to him and bring him home to his parents if I could. Only, that second one ended up being pretty difficult. hadn't really made any progress at all. Until I prayed at your shrine. So your wish... It was to find and return the boy whose life I stole, yeah. Only, when you first arrived, I got scared. I wasn't ready to find out the truth. What if he's dead? What if my actual wish should be that we never got swapped in the first place? It should be, right? But then... what would happen to you?
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty selfish of me, isn't it? Not really. Okay, no, yes, there's nothing wrong with being selfish. That's also true. Like, to a degree, we have to be selfish. It's self-preservation, right? Okay, tricky one. So, yeah, I'm not going to go with yes. So either no or there's nothing wrong with being selfish. I don't know. Is it? Is it all that selfish? But maybe they can't be convinced that it isn't, so I'm gonna go with that. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. Bells looks at me in surprise. It is normal and healthy to want to preserve your existence. If you were to rewrite history, you would no longer be yourself. And there is no guarantee that things would be fixed. You have nothing to feel guilty about. And Bells. Yeah? You're not a monster, or we're going to find Gale. Both good. I do want to give them hope, but we don't know about Gale. I don't think we can promise that. Like, we can try, of course, but... No, I'm going with the first one. You're not a monster. The surprise and relief on their faces stark.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, that was something. We did get some answers at least, that's for sure. We head back downstairs, where we see that Ren is waiting at a table for us. Or at least, I think he was waiting for us, judging by the number of drinks on the table and how quickly he reacts. It's in a corner, out of the way, so we can talk relatively freely as we slide in across from him.
Oh.
Hey. You're back. Everything good? I believe so. Belle smiles, and the remaining tension seems to dissipate. Are those for us?
Yeah.
You'd think I'd be fed up of paying for your drinks by now. More fool me, I guess. You're welcome.
Oh.
No, come on. I can't believe you remember that. It's been at least a couple years. Tell that to the barkeep in Greenham. He seemed to believe I owed him some money, and that was just last week. Bells laughs, not looking all that guilty. Whoops. Well.
Sorry.
I didn't think you'd be leaving Paris anytime soon. What brought you here? Things got a bit tense there. Figured I should make myself scarce for a bit while it all cooled down. So I thought I'd see what you liked so much about traveling. Maybe see if I could meet up with you for a bit and get up to our old antics. Knew I was heading in the right direction when I bumped into the first few people that recognized my face. At least it gave me a chance to brush up on my improv skills. Belle grins widely. Well, at least this time I can give you the rundown on who you're meant to know. Ah yes, how I'd missed learning about all the new friends I'd apparently made. As long as they're friends and not foes. Yeah, at least it was friends and not enemies. I can make plenty of those all on my own. Ren turns to me with a wry smile. I'm not sure that bells actually can make enemies. I let them run about with my face for 7+ years, and the worst I got was an overprotective father that was angry I'd been seen with his little girl.
Oh!
Lilia! Yeah, she was cool. If I can ask, it seems quite a risk, at least at first. What made you agree to let Bells use your form? Ren actually suggested it.
Yeah?
I had my reasons. Suffice to say, it can actually be quite handy at times to be seen in a very public place at a certain time. An alibi, okay. Ah. Well, I suppose that's one use for a changeling's powers. Ren isn't the only one. Lilia actually gave me permission too, for our own reasons. I'll have to show you sometime. Please do. I have this starry dress that fits her form, which looks amazing. Actually, how does the clothing work? Belle shows off the silver ring they wear eagerly. Magic. This ring lets me change outfits. Oh, can I have that, please? I can store up to 5 in it, so I keep an outfit to fit every form and a spare change for myself. You got that before you left Paris, right? Along with the loot.
Yeah!
What do you think of your outfit? I think it's the unstealthiest thing I've ever seen. A squeak that sounds suspiciously like a snort comes from Belle's scarf. That said, you have to let me borrow it sometime. Sure thing. We talk for a good while longer, until finally it's time to retire for the night. The next day, Bells approaches me early in the morning, looking nervous. Okay. I thought carefully about what I should wish for. I don't know what happened to the boy that I was swapped with. So it's hard to make a wish to fix a situation I don't know about without just wishing the whole thing never happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we even going to make this happen? So, Which would end badly for you. Yeah. So I thought about it. If he's anywhere, I'm pretty sure he'll be in the Fey realm. And if I can find it, I can go from there. But I was never able to find an entrance. So my wish is to go there. And then I can figure out the rest. I don't know if that's a great plan. Isn't that dangerous? Wait, that's it? You just need to go to the realm of the Fae? But that's easy. Really? That wouldn't even take a miracle.
What?
Same, Bells, same. Why didn't you tell me all you wanted was to travel? You said anything out of your domain was really difficult and took up all your magic. And you didn't think that wind exists in the Fey realm? My breeze crosses across multiple realms. I can follow it as easily as you could walk down a road. Well, how were they supposed to know? I didn't think of that. We stand there staring at each other dumbfounded for a moment before we crack up laughing. It was that easy all along? Oh my god. Goddess, actually. Alright. I've decided. I will accompany you to the Fey realm, and once we have found Gale together, then you may make your wish.
Oh!
Are you sure? You've already done so much. I am certain. Okay, I wish to see this through to the end with you. After all this, I'm interested to meet Gale myself. I have more things I wish to speak about with chimes. Perhaps we can bring Ren. Okay, it can't hurt to help out C's favorite child. Why are there so many options? I don't know about that. Okay. I do like the chimes option. But... I mean... some of these I would like to know the answer to, like C's favorite child. Like what will Bells say to that? Ren, I don't know if we should bring him. I know nothing about Gale, and from the story we can assume that he was, if anything, a small child back then, so is it that interesting? We have no reason to believe it is. He is, so. Either the first or the third. I'm just going with the first one then. I wish to see this through to the end with you. Bells looks touched.
Thanks!
Thank you. Belle spends the rest of the day getting themselves ready. Ren pulls me aside that night. Hey. So, I know you guys are setting off tomorrow. Belle said I was free to come along, but I didn't want to get in your way. Okay, I would appreciate your company. You're welcome to join us if you wish. It will be dangerous. It might be best to stay behind. That's actually kind of what I think. I would prefer to travel alone with Bells. Is that really a possibility? That's a path we can choose, that either he's with us or not. Oh man. We really get some interesting choices in this. I mean, we can't stop him if he wants to, and I don't know if it's gonna be dangerous. I kind of assume so, and it's... Then again, a larger group should be safer, maybe, but then that's more people to protect in the worst case. Or no. Either you're welcome to join us if you wish, or it will be dangerous. My instinct is that it will be dangerous, so yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one. It might be best to stay behind. Oh, I'm already dreading the consequences. But yeah, I go with this one. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Take care of Bells, okay? Ren heads up to their room, and I return to my own. I wonder. Ren said that he didn't want to get in the way of Bells and I. Does he believe that he would be impeding our relationship? It is not uncommon for deities to have relations with mortals, even despite the difference between our lifespans. Is a relationship something that I would want if I were to be able to stay? Oh, we can write or decide, okay. Yes, I have feelings for Bells. I might have feelings for multiple people. Oh, okay, I didn't know that was an option, to be fair. I am unsure who I have feelings for currently, or no, I just want friendship. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to go all in for romance, and like Bells was, even when they thought we were saying the whole goddess thing as a pickup, they went with it, so I'm gonna go right in. Yes, I have feelings for Bells. I think about the bonds that I have developed as I drift to sleep. At last, the morning comes, and we are due to set off. Before we leave, I decide to visit C one last time, while Bells purchases last-minute supplies. A florist this time? She shrugs. It seemed fun. Have you figured out my true role yet? I have. Although I admit to having help in that regard. C loves.
Yes.
Perhaps it's for the best you didn't bring Bells. I'm not sure how they would regard me. My domain has always been a contentious one. There are many who pray daily for me, and many who dread my coming. I can imagine. For what it's worth, I am glad for it. These past few days have been some of my best. She smiles brightly.
Thank you.
I am glad to hear it. Her good humor seems to calm down a little. Is that why you are prolonging the journey? Or is it because you know what will happen if you grant their wish? I have known since the beginning. I see. If you have made your choice, I won't disrespect that by trying to convince you otherwise. It is not as if I have a problem with your goals either. But I wonder, does Bells know the cost of their wish? Have they accepted it as you have? I thought not. This is a child who has spent their life feeling guilty for something they had no control over, and which happened to a stranger. Do you think they will take it well when they realize? That's a good point. They do not need to realize. She sighs. Very well. Then for their sake, if not your own, let me offer this one gift. First, some advice. You should try to resolve things with your own power if you can. Perhaps there is no need for a wish at all. But if there is, and you must grant a miracle, then I offer you the blessing of a single day. One day to enjoy the results and to say your goodbyes. Use that time wisely. It is more than I thought I would get. Thank you. She nods. It is not just Bells I am fond of, you know. Now, good luck on your journey. Perhaps you might even rescue the boy in time to enjoy the festival. There is hope then? There is almost always some manner of hope. But you're fishing for information. He's alive. But that's all I'm telling you. I didn't get any bracelets as offerings after all. Thank you, C. Truly.
It's all right.
You're most welcome. She waves me off with a grin, and I head to meet Bells once more. that was actually good information that we're not just doing this trip for the heck of it. Like, okay, I mean, that's good to know. That's good to know that he's alive. Although, of course, the other thought is he really alive? Is Gale out there, or is Bells actually has always been Gale? Still kind of doubting that, but we'll see. They're with Ren at the tavern when I find them. Alright, our first step should be to travel to the Fey realm. Are you ready?
No.
But I don't think I'll ever be. So we should go. Before I can overthink. Very well. Ben decides to see us off, and so we walk to the boundary together. I ask the breeze to lead the way, and we follow it to the edge of the forest. Here I can see where the veil between the two realms is thin. We're here.
Oh!
Really? They look around in disbelief for a moment. It was this close? Well, technically the realms can be said to overlap, so it was always closer than you thought. But yes, we will find a crossing here. As I look for the exact location the breeze slips from one realm to the next, I see the flickering where glimpses of the Fey realm breaks through. I am not the only one. Chimes makes a noise of surprise. The bright lance. Oh. Well then. Bells. I'm fairly certain that your mouse is not, in fact, a mouse.
What?
Chimes makes a squeak of protest.
No.
You are wrong. I am a very good mouse. My apologies, Chimes. You are a fabulous mouse. I should clarify. Were you always a mouse? Or did you ever have another form?
Yes.
Of course, but I prefer this one. It is very good for stealth. I nod, satisfied, but Bells is not taking this quite as calmly as me. Wait just a moment, so... I think then that our choice not to prolong Chimes' lifespan was a good one, if he never was just a mouse.
What?
What's going on? What do you mean? Chimes is a Fey spirit. He has merely chosen the form of a mouse. I suppose I ought to have seen this coming when I first heard Chimes' thoughts out loud and clear.
Oh!
He is? Ren, on the other hand, doesn't seem surprised at all.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It does? But you really hadn't noticed anything before. You already had Chimes when I met you. That was like 7+ years ago. You know how long mice live. Bells looks baffled. No? Okay, you don't even know. Sure. They live like 2 years. 3 if you're lucky. Not to mention how smart he is. He could follow complex orders. And also, it was kinda clear he was talking to you. It really never struck you that he wasn't a normal mouse? Well, I mean... I knew he was a really smart mouse. But that's... How was I meant to know that that meant, oh, that's because he's not actually a mouse at all? Ren rolls his eyes but smiles. Never change, Bells. I am not sure what all the fuss is about. but we should find shelter. Oh boy. Like, Ren makes sense, of course, that he found it odd. Like, okay, sure, probably not a normal mouse, but Bells also makes a point, like, as in, why would you necessarily think he's not a mouse? Especially if they've been together for so long and he's never shown any other form different from Bells themselves. Oh boy. We are very exposed to the elements here. I convey the message and both Bells and Ren nod. Yeah, you should probably get going before it gets too late. You two take care of each other. I expect to see you back so we can catch a meal together. It's your treat next time, yeah, Bells?
Yeah!
Sure. We'll be back before you know it. They hug one last time, and then Ren stands back to see us off. I look at Bells one last time for confirmation. They meet my eyes, and though they seem hesitant, they give a resolute nod. And together, we step into the Fey realm. Oh boy, what have we gotten ourselves into now? Act 2. Bells. Okay. Chapter 7. Into the Fey realm. The difference is immediate. Not just visually, the very atmosphere itself is different. It's a dizzying sensation at first, as my body adjusts, and both Bells and I end up sat at the base of a tree, waiting out the feeling. Not quite the running start I was planning. Don't worry. There's still a way to make progress, even like this. I can send the breeze to search. I just need to know what Gale looks like. Belle pulls a face.
Oh.
I don't suppose a verbal description will do. If it must, I can make do. It wouldn't be quite as effective as seeing him. They look a little uncomfortable. I know it's silly, but I promised I wouldn't ever look like him again. I will if I have to, but... do not have to, we will manage, or you should. It's our best chance of finding him quickly. I get it. Oh, I don't like that we have to make this choice. This should be Belle's choice. They should really see like what is most important here for them. Like, do we want to spare their feelings here? We will manage. Like, does it mean... Like, of course it means it's gonna be probably slower and maybe also take more of our power? I mean, it's so important to them and they're still hesitant, so... You do not have to. We will manage. The relief is clear.
Thanks!
They describe Gale in as much detail as they can. Ask the breeze to search or order the breeze to search. We're always going to ask. I wonder what consequence it has if we just keep ordering it. Will it just not help us anymore at some point when it's important? Once I've sent the breeze off in search of him, I turn to Bells, hoping for a conversation that will distract from the dizzy feeling. Bells? I was curious. Ren implied that this form of yours was new to him. Is this another that you received permission to use? Huh?
Oh!
He was a dancer like me. This is going to sound weird, but I never actually got his name. But he said he wasn't going to be able to dance anymore, so I should go do it for him. I think that was the fastest anyone's actually given me permission. I changed the hair and the eyes a bit to match my outfit though. Of course. Hey, actually, now that you know and stuff, do you have a favorite form? Because I have a few favorite looks that I have permission to use. I can look like this. They gesture to their current appearance. Or I can look like Ren. Or Lilia. That's the other Belle's form that we could have chosen as the standout. Fun. I don't mind either way, and they were all cool with it. Which form do you prefer? Which form do I prefer? Oh, these are so cute. Oath chimes. But I'm gonna go with the original. That's how we know them. Okay. Feel free to change your mind at any time. Really? Oh, fun. Can I ask something?
Yeah!
Go for it. When you were Ray, I sensed that your pronouns had changed. And even when you transformed just now, there was a shift, however minor. But this was not the case when you changed into Lilia's form. You need not answer, but can I ask about the change? You have a sense for that? That's super useful. I was about to say, if you could just know people's pronouns, that'd make life easier for so many people. Anyway, I don't mind telling you. I don't really have like a strong sense of gender or anything. I mean, I'm not sure I even really understand it that well. It's not related to your body or your clothes or how you act or anything. So I'm not really sure what it does relate to or how you're supposed to know. Ren has a pretty strong sense of his, but I don't really have that sense that other people seem to have. So normally, I guess the pronouns you're sensing are pretty neutral, right? I nod to show my confirmation. And that's the case even when I change into Lilia's form. And it's not like I suddenly get this new sense of it when I change into Ren. It's more like I try and think of myself that way for his sake. He only had like one condition for letting me look like him, and that was that I never use female pronouns and stuff while in his form. He didn't actually care if I used any others, but it's something that actually means a lot to him. And I don't really care what pronouns I use. Like, they're all as good as any others to me, really. So I figured I might as well try and use the ones he uses while in his form. Lilia didn't care much either way. Same with the person I got my other form from. So with them, I guess I just kind of go back to the neutral. I mean, when I'm in Lilia's form, people will often call me by feminine pronouns. And I'm fine with that, it's not like I really mind or anything. Same when people assume any other pronoun. It's just something I never really think about, except for when I'm trying for Ren's sake. Does that make sense? I believe I understand. Belle smiles at me. Interesting take on it, yeah. Well, anyway, I feel like I've talked about myself a lot. And normally I'd be all about that, but let's talk about something else for a bit. Alright. What are you gonna do when we're done here? Because I don't know if you have like goddess duties that you have to get back to, but we could maybe travel together. If you wanted. Ah. As it stands, I doubt there will be an after for me. There's always a chance, but I'm not sure I should make promises that I can't guarantee. How should I navigate this one? I'd love to travel with you. I don't think I will be able to. I wish that I could, or perhaps we shall see. Oh boy. It really doesn't end here. With the tough choices. Like, I agree, I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. But I also don't want... I don't know, I don't want to lie. I don't know if we should discuss this right away. If Bells would maybe pull back and say whatever with the wish. I don't want to be too vague. I don't want to... I'm like, the first one is true, but I don't think we can make that promise right now. No, I don't want to have this conversation right now, so I wish that I could. Ooh. It's like in the stories where now I have to repay you by granting your wish. Don't worry. We'll find a way. Okay, I think that was a good one. Okay. The dizziness is starting to fade now as my body adjusts. Belle seems to be more relaxed as well. The breeze has not yet located Gale, but we might be alright to travel. Do you feel alright to walk for a bit? I haven't yet located Gale, but we could find somewhere nearby to stay for the night.
Yeah!
Sounds good to me. I haven't had a camping buddy for a while. At least other than Chimes. I don't believe I have ever been camping. At least, not in this form. Or perhaps at all. I slept at my shrine, which was in the forest. But I imagine that experience is quite different. Wait, so did you live at your shrine full time, or just stay there occasionally? I used to be able to come and go at will. To travel the world and then return to my shrine to rest. But as my energy waned, I found it more and more difficult to leave. Bells looked sad at my words, so I decided to steer the topic in a slightly different direction. It felt like the world had changed by leagues when I first came to visit you, and yet not at all. It is interesting how much is foreign to me now, and how much is very much the same. It has been fun to relearn. For instance, when I last engaged with the world properly, there were no antelopes that could laugh. Oh girl. Bells was nodding along for most of what I said, but at the last sentence they drew up, confused.
What?
Wait, what? Yes, it was quite a surprise to me. No, I mean... We have those now? There is one at the tavern we stayed in, is there not? Or else there was once. The whole place was named after it. It must have been quite the character. I would quite like to meet it. Belle stares at me a moment, looking baffled before they crack up laughing. I don't know how yet, but I swear I will find a way for you to meet that antelope. Thank you. Oh dear. We wander a little further before we find somewhere that looks like it would be a good place to camp for the night. Okay, those mushrooms. Sure. Just in time, seemingly, as the sun starts to set and the sky darkens around us as we work. Bells pulls out the supplies and guides me through helping to set them up. They are patient as a teacher, but a little inexperienced. When we're finished, they pull out some rations. As they go to pass Chimes their share of the rations, however, we make a surprising realization.
Thank you.
Thank you, even if this is more of the stale food again.
Oh!
Chimes, I can understand you.
Yes.
Yes, we are in the Bright Lands. Belle seemingly decides not to question this any further, however.
Yeah!
This is awesome. After that, we talk occasionally as we eat, and then Bells pulls out a sleeping bag. I just remembered that Chimes mentioned the Brightlands before, and I think he said something about Bells probably being from there, but that he wasn't sure. Huh. So maybe them and Gale really did swap places? If Gale is here now and Bells used to be from here? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. It's way too early to actually sleep. But I've got a plan. We can stargaze. We can tell tales about the stars. I bet you know a bunch that I don't. And I can tell you some of the newer ones. Alright. We lie next to each other on the grass and gaze up at the sky. Bells points to a constellation, seemingly at random, and launches into a tale. At one point, I find myself watching Bells as they talk instead of the stars. I watch the play of expressions across their face as they dramatically recount the story of a hunter and a clever fox. As they finish the tale, they turn to face me, and my breath catches slightly as our eyes meet. Although we turn away quickly, I feel flustered. We go to sleep soon after, and I dream of an endless chase across the stars. By the time I wake, the breeze has finally located Gale. Oh, already, okay. Chapter 8, The Trouble with Deals. But I'm afraid I'm going to leave it here for today. That was quite a lot of development, actually. Okay, so we finally know Bells' backstory. Still not sure how we're going to progress here, but finding Gale, okay, that's... Yeah, I kind of expected more to it, but I'm sure it's also not going to be as easy as just locating him and bringing him back, especially with that chapter title. But yeah, very cool episode, and with that one choice, do we actually have the option of going like a poly route here? I didn't know that, if that is the case. Maybe I'm also reading too much into it, but having that choice of I like several people, maybe there's a choice later too. Yeah, to choose one person. And also, how would it have changed if Ren really went with us? Would he? Interesting. So definitely already in this one route I'm seeing so many replay possibilities, and that's great. Love that. But yeah, with the path we're on, we're going to continue next time. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, bye bye.